Have you ever watched a universally adored celebrity just completely lose their standing in the blink of an eye?
Oh, it happens fast.
Right. I mean, without ever committing a single crime, just going from America's relatable best friend to public enemy number one.
Less than 4 months in this case.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So today we are doing a deep dive into one of the most dramatic falls from grace in modern Hollywood history. We're unpacking the rise and the very sudden collapse of Blake Lively's public image.
And this isn't just, celebrity gossip. It's really not.
No, not
It's
at all.
actually a masterclass in the mechanics of public relations and the brutal speed of the court of public opinion.
Yeah.
It really highlights the danger of building a brand on perceived perfection.
Which is exactly why this matters to you listening right now. Because whether you are, managing a corporate brand or your own professional reputation, or honestly just navigating the digital world.
Which we all are.
Right. Understanding how a carefully crafted image can just unravel, it offers these crucial lessons in crisis management and, authenticity.
Absolutely. And to really get why this unraveling was so spectacular, we have to look at the foundation of her empire.
Right.
We have to go back to 2005.
Oh, the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pan.
Exactly. Even then, as a total unknown, she had this undeniable, it factor.
Oh, for sure. She just stood out.
She did. She had this X factor that just immediately separated her from the pack. But the real explosion of her fame, the thing that cemented her as the ultimate it girl, was a couple years later.
Gossip.
Serena van der Woodsen.
I mean, that role was a cultural reset for an entire generation.
It really was. And this is where we see the specific brand appeal taking shape. Her team built this powerful combination of what PR folks call aspirational accessibility.
Aspirational accessibility. Okay, wait, break that down for me.
So it's a very rare balance. You present as soft, incredibly stylish, funny, family-oriented. You are someone the public wants to be.
That's the aspirational part.
Right. But you also feel approachable enough that people think, you could totally be their best friend.
Okay, it's like she was the high school prom queen who actually goes out of her way to sit with the unpopular kids.
That is the perfect analogy.
You couldn't help but root for her, even if her life felt completely worlds away from yours.
Exactly. But while television was making her a household name, the transition to the silver screen brought a massive professional failure.
Right, because right near the end of Gossip Girl, she tries to become a major movie star in The Green Lantern.
And it was a disaster.
Total box office bust.
A critical and financial disaster. But ironically, this failure set the stage for her absolute peak Hollywood power.
Because that is where she met Ryan Reynolds.
Precisely. And the context of how they met is so important for their brand. At the time, Ryan was married to Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, right.
And Blake was dating her Gossip Girl co-star, Penn Badgley. So they were strictly friends on that set.
They just had that instant, platonic chemistry.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But then a year later, after their respective breakups, they end up on a double date.
But with other people, right?
Yes, with other people.
Yeah.
But the sparks between Blake and Ryan were just undeniable. Less than a year after that, they married in a small, secret ceremony.
And that union just skyrocketed them both. If we fast forward to 2018, they were at their absolute peak.
Untouchable.
Ryan is breaking records with Deadpool, and Blake is getting serious critical acclaim for A Simple Favor. And their public persona was just flawless.
The way they playfully roasted each other on social media.
Yes.
Yeah.
It proved they were witty, beautiful, and it was that perfect mix of polished meets approachable.
It made them feel real, like you were in on the joke.
But let me ask you this, because this is what I always wonder about these megastars. Does achieving that level of perceived perfection, the dream family, the dream look, does that actually put a target on a person's back?
Oh, 100%. It introduces this sort of David versus Goliath dynamic with the public.
Really? How so?
Well, human nature is tricky. The public inherently loves to eventually tear down the person sitting most comfortably at the very top. We want to find the crack in the armor.
Right, nobody can actually be that perfect, so let's prove it.
Exactly. And that untouchable status is exactly what made her next project the perfect storm for a reputational disaster.
You're talking about It Ends With Us.
I am. The trouble started pretty much immediately when she was cast in that book adaptation.
Yeah, fans of the book were not happy from day one.
No, they felt she and the director, who was also her co-star, Justin Baldoni, were just way too old for the characters. So there was already this mismatch, this friction from the fan base.
But that was just a casting gripe. The real disaster was the press tour.
The tone-deaf press tour, yes.
I mean, this film deals with incredibly tragic, serious themes of domestic abuse and violence. It is a heavy, heavy story.
Very heavy. Yet how did Blake promote it?
With this cheerful, like, grab your girlfriends and wear florals and go to the movies messaging.
It was jarring. She entirely missed the right tone. It felt like she was promoting a rom-com.
It was so strange. But then, on top of that, you get to the premiere, and there is this absolute red carpet frost.
Oh, the body language was screaming.
Like Justin Baldoni was completely separated from the rest of the cast.
It felt exactly like watching a cringy family reunion video, where key people are just flat out refusing to speak to or take photos with each other.
But I want to push back on this a little bit, because we talk about this like it was a complete failure. But despite all this awkwardness and the bad press tour, the film was a massive box office smash.
It made a ton of money.
So does bad press actually ruin a movie? It didn't seem to hurt the ticket sales.
Well, that's the tricky part. The box office success was, honestly, merely a distraction.
A distraction from what?
From a much darker, behind-the-scenes legal crisis that was about to explode into public view.
Right, because 4 months after that dramatic premiere, the other shoe drops. Blake files a formal complaint against Justin Baldoni.
And the accusations were serious.
Yeah, she accused him of intimidation, making sexual advances that made her uncomfortable, and fat-shaming.
The fat-shaming one really caught fire in the press, specifically because she alleged he asked how much she weighed before lifting scene.
And this was shortly after she had given birth, right?
Yes, which made it feel especially cruel to the public. Normally, when claims like this are filed, you deploy a standard, quiet PR response.
Right, you issue a polite denial and let the lawyers handle it in private.
Exactly. But Justin's team, they threw out the playbook. They fought back incredibly aggressively.
He denied the claims, he countersued, and they basically weaponized the press.
That's exactly what happened. Suddenly, there was this continuous strategic stream of leaks emerging.
And all of these leaks painted Blake in a terrible light. They were portraying her as mean-spirited, cruel, difficult to work with.
Basically the complete opposite of her nice girl brand.
By early 2025, her image had rapidly shifted from this beloved actress to, like, a total Hollywood mean girl.
And here is a critical PR lesson for anyone listening. The court of law takes a very long time. Years, usually.
Oh, yeah. Legal battles drag on forever.
But the court of public opinion, it acts instantly. When behind-the-scenes leaks run directly counter to a star's carefully cultivated branding, the public backlash is ferocious.
Because it feels like a betrayal.
Exactly. It feels like you've been lied to for 20 years.
So her team is watching this immense damage being done in the press day by day, and they realize they have to make a drastic legal maneuver.
They had to stop the bleeding. So Blake settled the lawsuit.
But she settled without any financial payout, which, I mean, I have to say,
It looks bad.
it looks like an admission of defeat. If you walk away with $0, people assume you made it up.
Especially when reports noted that 10 out of her 13 claims were dismissed.
Wow. 10 out of 13.
Right. To the public, who only reads the headlines and not the nuanced ins and outs of legal strategy, it looked like she lost completely.
But you're saying this was a strategic PR decision.
It was. They needed to cut their losses before a prolonged trial could unearth even more damaging details in the discovery phase. You don't want your private emails and texts read in open court if you're already losing the PR war.
Okay, that makes sense. But the collateral damage from this was just severe. It didn't just hurt her career, it bled into her personal life in a huge way.
The Taylor Swift fallout.
Yes, it destroyed a decade-long friendship with Taylor Swift.
Which is a massive deal in Hollywood. Taylor is the godmother to all 3 of Blake and Ryan's children.
And she was so heavily associated with Blake's girl empowerment brand for years. They were always photographed together.
Right. But during the lawsuit, Blake allegedly tried to use Taylor to win the PR battle.
Oh, like dragging her name into the drama to show she still had these powerful allies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Trying to borrow some of Taylor's untouchable reputation.
Yeah.
But Taylor's team is notoriously strict about her image. They wanted absolutely nothing to do with a loser lawsuit.
They weren't going to let Taylor be used as an ornament to refurbish Blake's tarnished image.
Not a chance. And the final nail in the coffin for that friendship happened in early 2026.
The wedding.
Yes. Taylor's spectacular wedding of the year at Madison Square Garden. Ryan and Blake were completely, noticeably absent.
I mean, I just marvel at the ripple effect of this. How a workplace dispute over a movie didn't just end a career peak, but it severed a highly publicized, deeply entrenched personal relationship.
It shows how toxic the fallout became. With Blake isolated and lacking public support, the stage was basically set for her rival to take total control of the narrative.
You mean Justin Baldoni?
Yes, capitalizing on Blake's absolute lowest moment, he finally broke his silence.
But he didn't do it in an angry way, right?
No, it was brilliant.
Yeah.
He released a highly effective, mindful video with his wife.
I remember that.
They sat there discussing the trauma they endured. He used modern therapy speak, stating things like healing isn't linear.
Oh, the internet eats that up.
They do. It successfully rebuilt his public-facing image as the sensitive victim in all of this.
Meanwhile, Blake is currently left with her public and professional reputation in tatters, and no upcoming projects on the horizon. The pipeline is just completely dry.
Which begs the question, can she recover?
That's what I want to know.
Well, look, Hollywood loves a comeback story.
They really do.
If she handles this right, this might just be a dark chapter in her story, rather than her career obituary.
I hear you, but I have to challenge this optimism.
Okay, let's hear it.
If a celebrity's entire superpower, the core of their brand, was being universally likable and authentic, how can they ever sell that specific brand again once the curtain has been pulled back?
It's incredibly difficult.
Right. Like, can you ever unring the mean girl bell? Once the public sees you that way, buying a ticket to see you play the sweet, relatable girl next door just feels fake.
That is the exact problem she faces. The aspirational accessibility might be gone forever. She might have to completely pivot her entire persona if she wants to work again.
Which is a huge risk. So when we synthesize all of this, the overarching lesson here for you, the listener, is pretty stark.
This really isn't just a story about two actors feuding on a movie set.
No, it is a massive warning about the fragility of reputation. When your brand relies on being perceived as flawless and approachable, the public expects you to be that person 24/7.
And if the behind-the-scenes reality leaks out, the fall is steep.
Incredibly steep. But it leaves me with one final question to ponder. A bit of a provocative thought for everyone listening.
Go for it.
If the court of public opinion is so easily swayed by leaked headlines and these aggressive PR tactics from crisis firms, are we, the audience, actually seeking the truth?
That's a great question.
Or are we just willing participants in a larger game of Hollywood chess, just eager to crown the most entertaining villain? We love the drama of the fall almost as much as the rise.
Something to think about the next time you see a scandal trending.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive. We'll catch you on the next one.